text the conversation. Scotty's calling. I go get him on the phone. So to save some time, I know Steve, you spoke to Scotty about this. I just spoke to Scotty at length about his conversation with Joe Dorenzo on Saturday.
Yeah.
And I want to know everything because I know Joey well. So it was around 7:30 at night, New York time. And the reason I wanted to know is because it's very possible he's on his, I know he takes his meds, and sometimes, he's at the end of the night, he gets a little, he basically packs it in very early every night because of the meds. But the takeaway was, so you understand, Steve, and I asked 5 times, 90 different ways, so Scotty will confirm, is that Scotty asked who called who. He goes, Scotty called Joey to take his temperature. Okay? Because Scotty knew that filed the bankruptcy, and I guess he wanted to see what Joey was thinking. Right. So he said that Joey picked up on the first ring, and Scotty's takeaway was he sounded defeated. His words were, this lawsuit is going to die on the vine. It's not worth pursuing. I know about the PSL bankruptcy. Now, what happened is, Joey's not completely... Joey, on a macro sense, just like everybody with disorder, is not smart. It doesn't not sophisticated, intelligent, but they are smart and crafty, moment to moment. Okay, so that's not to say what I'm saying. There is you should never underestimate them, but don't overestimate them either. Okay, right. So Scotty's takeaway was that look, he sounded defeated. Okay, and his words, it's going to die on the vine. It's not worth pursuing. I know about the PSL bankruptcy. What I know about Joey is, and I said to Scotty, and he probably confided in you because, Scotty's a politician, and he thinks, so Joey thought you were on his side. He goes, exactly, he thinks you're on his side, so he's going to confide in me. Yeah. Which is a terribly tactical mistake of Joey. He's arrogance. Okay? Yep. But it's not just about the PSL bankruptcy. The 15B, 12B5 motion, and other things that have been going on in the behind the scenes that I've been doing psychologically, okay, and tactically and legally, which is, I haven't shared with you, Steve, because it's need to know.
Well, the problem is some of that doesn't just go away, right? We still have to deal with...
Exactly. Some of it doesn't go away. For instance, he let the cat out of the bag with the SEC. That's not going away.
That's not going away.
This is the government. That's not going to... We're not going to intimidate the guy. We're not going to suppress him. He doesn't care. It's a job, and he's got an unlimited bankroll.
Check.
And on top of it, you don't have any experience, Steve, with the SEC or Scotty. Tommy and I do. These people are predatory. They're career-minded. You never know what direction this can go in. Right. One of the things I discussed with the attorney, Scotty brought this, was like, I'll show you the subpoena. They want to know about Peak Summit Labs. Scotty goes, like, what the fuck is their jurisdiction in this? I says, you know what? You're 100% right. And I spoke to the attorney that's representing me in this limited scope to get me an extension. And I said, what the fuck is their jurisdiction in this? None of us are registered representatives. None are licensed by the Security Exchange Commission. None of these companies are public. And none of these companies raised a public offering. Okay? We don't have a multitude of investors. Okay? And my lawyer goes, you're absolutely right. You can file a motion to quash. You got $25,000? But no. Okay? So we've got to, tread light. You know what I'm saying?
They have an unlimited budget, and everybody who works for them goes up the career chain when they score. That's the problem.
Exactly. And you know what the problem is, for better or for worse, as I told you, Steve, and I mentioned to Scotty, I'm a trophy. Oh.
Your phone, Victor. Your phone.
I'm a trophy. Victor Wang's a trophy.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
They've got published, a trophy. The former Wolf of Wall Street. Give me a fucking break.
You're the water cooler conversation.
But the problem with that, exactly. The problem with that is, if I'm a trophy, everybody in the orbit with me, they'll blast through to get to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to Scotty, I said, late people, we didn't do it. Exactly. But you know what? It's a process. I said, you ever seen the movie My Cousin Vinny? He goes, yeah. He goes, you remember at the arraignment, Joel Pesci?
Yes.
How do you plead? Your Honor, I would explain, how do you plead? But you're like, no. The next words out of your mouth is either guilty or not guilty.
Right.
After that, I'm finding you contempt. Well, Your Honor, he goes, that's 1 night in jail. Mr. Gambini, why don't we do it this way? Why don't we waive the arraignment? Hell, we'll waive the trial. You say what you have to say. I'll make a decision on what should be done today.
Right.
It's not how it works, okay? It's a process, okay? That's very costly.
So is Joey, let's just say that Joey backs off, they rescind the complaint, okay?
They're not going to rescind the complaint. I was thinking about this. So, I was talking to Tommy Mullally early this morning for a good half an hour. He had to go. He's going to call me back. If he calls in, I'm going to get out. But I said, he asked me, what do you think? I go, well, here's what it is. I said, I don't think Don Lorenzo even knew there was a lawsuit. Tommy goes, I thought that too.
Really?
I go, because I know. I've been involved 40 years intimately, helped them in litigation. Joey, especially specifically. Joey has an American Express black card. Joey goes for $50,000 a month from his dad.
Okay.
It's very plausible that Joey finds this attorney, puts $15,000-$20,000 on his black card, gets the ball rolling, puts his father as a plaintiff in the complaint, and he knows, quote unquote, Lorenzo's when he said, "Dad, we're already pregnant. We might as well follow through."
I don't think
Okay?
I don't think Massimo would allow that. I don't think Massimo would.
No, I don't think you don't know. I've seen it done.
I know,
Seen
but
it
I
done.
don't. I
By
think
law,
Massimo would
major
say,
firms.
"No, I'm not.
But
I'm
my
not."
my father's a plaintiff. You don't understand. Massimo's a Joey. He just figures Joey walks around like he's loaded because his family's prominent.
Okay.
Pushing the Wakefield, so they don't think anything of it. Trust me on the New York dynamic, okay? So, but Joey has no money. So what I did when I told you, Steve, is that when I filed the affidavit of service on the 12B5 motion, I just didn't serve it upon Massimo. I purposely sent it to Don Lorenzo's address, 7 Kemping Court in Montown. No, he lives 2 miles from me. Okay?
Okay.
He gets this in the mail. That's when Don might have been like, what is going on? He'll call Massimo. Massimo's asking for money, like thinking it's not a big deal. And Don looks at Joe and says, I'm not paying for this. Okay?
Okay.
I know something about Don. Don's lost tens of millions of dollars. He doesn't sue anybody. He looks at litigation as a waste of time and money.
Okay.
Okay? All right? Now, this is an educated guess. But for Joey to be sound defeated and say he's not pursuing, that's not because he didn't think it's worth pursuing. What's his dad saying? Dad's not paying for this.
Okay.
Yep. Okay? His own devices, left to Joey's own devices, let's just say he won the Powerball. He would invest, he has no value of a dollar. He would invest millions into this, okay? Because, just to win.
Into this. By this, you mean by the lawsuit or by?
Yes.
Okay.
Joey's not normal, okay? He's been diagnosed with the emotional intelligence of an adolescent.
Okay.
That's clinical, okay?
Right.
He'd be spiteful. He can't afford it. And he's got other pressures, personally, financially, on him as well. There's no way his dad's paying for this.
Okay. All right.
But that's not to say we're out of the woods, okay? I think it's an inflection point. We've taken the initiative from him. We still have to be very careful. I said, Scotty, we can't be cavalier about this. We can't do anything and make a mistake that gives him, Joey, hope. Because if he gets hope, he'll go back at it. It's his dad. Dad'll throw 20 or 30,000 more at it, okay, just to see where it goes, okay? And then here we or right back where we started,
Okay.
right?
All right. Massimo obviously is happy with all the billables he can get. That's no problem.
Right. So anyway, getting back to it, where they withdraw, when Joey says it's going to die and the vine's not worth pursuing, it's very possible with the motion to dismiss. It's a possibility, not very possible. It's a possibility with a 12B5 motion to dismiss. And if Lorenzo decides not to give Massimo any money, they won't respond to it. We'll get it dismissed without prejudice, just to say they can come back at it.
Right.
At one point, we'll let it age, and then we should put in a motion to dismiss with prejudice the entire case.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying?
Then he can't come back.
But the issue is, I know that Lorenzo's for 40 years, and was their personal, quote, financial advisor, life coach, and mediator for personal problems. 8 of them. Up until last October. Okay? Joey, okay, that's not enough. Joey will scheme something if the stars align, where he's oh, woe is me, I'm a loser, but it's not my fault, and project inward shame outward, which is part of the disorder, and start blaming people. Okay?
Yeah.
So that being said, just because we get this, if we are to get this dismissed with prejudice, that doesn't mean he can't scheme something else up.
Right.
Now, I spoke to Tommy, and I said, Tommy, Steve, this, we had a planned counterattack with lawsuits, and I said, I've been praying about this, and I want to be in a good place, and I don't want to hate, God says, pray, love your enemies. I think that the wisdom is that if you hate your enemies, it skews your judgment, and you make bad decisions. Okay?
Mistakes, yeah.
Make mistakes. So I'm trying to find a place. I said, Tommy, maybe we just make it go away, and then we get some type of consent that he leaves us alone. Tommy goes, I'm not willing to do that. I go, what do you mean? He goes, I want to fucking take Joey's head off, his father's head off. I want them to fuck. That's the typical New York Irishman. He's gonna, what we call that here in New York is we got his Irish up. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever heard of that.
So, Victor, really, you're trying to protect Joey from his own idiocy, which is really what the ethical situation is here.
Right. But at the same time, this has been a tactical mistake I've made in my life, that I'm trying to protect them from his own idiocy. I used to think maybe they'll see the light. It's not, then it'll never happen. But at the same time, if I protect him of his own idiocy, I don't want to disenfranchise and leave all of us exposed to his idiocy, because it's never going to change.
Yeah.
The only way to deal with Joey is to literally fucking put a legitimate barrier around him.
Okay. Given that, and you make the point, which is correct, that let's just say they withdraw this suit or whatever it is, that doesn't stop them from coming up with some other angle. This could go on. This could go on eternally. So,
right. Go on eternally. It could go on for 6 years statute of limitations. But do you want to live your 6 years under the wake up, have in the back of your mind on any given day, what the fuck is this maniac going to do next?
Right.
I don't know. Okay.
Okay. So what do you propose, and then we'll talk about.
Not enough information and data right now. Okay. I've got to get some more clarity. I'm just trying to. Right now, I'm just trying to articulate and caucus with you in my thoughts about where we are right now, coupled with the background of what I know about them and what we might expect or not expect. Okay, I would say prior to this weekend, what Scotty had said to me this weekend about Joey sounding defeatist. Prior to that, I was, Steve, I was talking about it. I was prepared for a fucking war.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Right. A total war, Steve. Granularly, we're talking about libel claims. I even started doing the research on the counterclaims in the suit for abusive process, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and fraud. We talked about not having any affirmative defenses because if we don't think of everything, then we're going to be cut out from raising it in the future. So we were planning. I was planning. My mindset, Steve and Scotty, prior to what Scotty told me, was a preparation for a fucking Vietnam-style war, where he's the Americans and we're the Viet Cong.
Right. I understand that. Yeah.
Okay? So that being said, I think things are changing now, and I have to start thinking. I know Joey pretty good. In fact, I know Joey better than anybody in the world, including his dad. By Joey's own admission, his dad is on admission. Okay?
Yeah.
Because Joey used to confide me things he would hide from his father. Nobody knows Joey like me. Today, actually Saturday, he was very defeatist. I also advise Scotty, listen, be very attuned to if Joey calls you back. He goes, why? I go, because he's now ruminating and in his mind trying to figure out why Scotty called me, what this is about, what it means, and you have no idea what he can come up with.
Right.
Okay? If he calls you back, Scotty, take it. He's there. He's not your friend. He doesn't like you. He doesn't like anybody. His own kids hate him. Okay?
Right. Right.
He's been inspired because he's got some theory now that gave him hope to continue to dig at this. What I know about Joey is when he's done, he's done. He won't call, he won't speak. This thing will die fast. Okay?
Yeah.
But if he calls you back, Scotty, again, he's trying to probe you. He's come up in his mind that you didn't call as an ally, but as playing an angle. You understand? And he wants to know what that angle is. And he wants to see if he can turn the angle around. Okay?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So that's where we are. Well,
Okay.
anyway, Steve?
Yes.
So right now, it's a wait-and-see thing. Now, they asked for a 2-week extension on the answer to the B5. As you saw, I gave you the copy of it.
Right.
That was a week ago. So this week, maybe sometime next week, we'll find out what they say. Now, they filed an answer to oppose the motion, okay? There's 3 things they can do. File an answer to oppose the motion, okay? Refile the complaint and start the process all over again. And just accept the motion, okay? Or walk away and not answer. Now let's analyze the 3 courses of action they take, what it means for an existential background. If they oppose this motion and fight this motion, that means that the Renzos are in it. Because I'll tell you why. It's not even the right tactical or efficient move. It's a churn job by the attorney, okay? Because quite frankly, you're opposing the motion, $20,000, okay? You're going to have maybe a hearing. It drags it out, okay? And at the end of the day, I'll probably prevail. And they'll have to refile again anyway.
Yeah.
So they should just refile again anyway, for efficiency's sake. If they oppose the motion, that means that the Renzo are in it are just throwing money at it, which is not a good look for us. Right? If they just decide, okay, we accept, service was fucked up, we're refiling the case, we're still in it. But the Lorenzos are paying attention and they're willing to do something like that that's cheap just to see where it goes. Wait for our answer.
Yeah.
They haven't thrown it in yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay? If they walk away, then we know what it means.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the 3 things, the course of action they can take. And based on those 3 courses of action, that's my read on where they're taking that temperature, where they're at.
Gotcha.
The conclusion being that if it does go to the Vietnam War, it costs it's 100 to 1. It costs them $100 for every dollar we spend in time on doing this. And if Joey's father is sensitive to the expenditure, then Joey has to pay attention to that.
Well, I can say this. Okay? I know Don DeLorenzo. I've helped him with litigation, divorce litigation. He's lost tens of millions of dollars. He sues nobody.
Right.
Because he thinks he's an old school Brooklyn guy. He thinks everybody's a scumbag. He thinks lawyers are scum. They're just churning him for $1. Okay? He doesn't trust any lawyer. Okay? Lawyers will say, "Oh, you got a case." I've seen cases walk away. I'm like, "God, you legitimately got a case?" "Nah, the lawyer's just trying to get me some money. I got to pay more money. Fuck that. I'll just walk away." Joey's different, quote unquote, from Don. And Joey has no value of $1. Legitimately, I can't explain what has no value of $1. Never had a job. How do you value $1 if you want the $30 million of your dad's money? You never worked a day in your life.
Right.
Okay? No value of $1. I had said to Scotty, if Joey hypothetically won Powerball, he would put millions into this thing just to validate himself, to be spiteful and punish, to make himself look good. But he doesn't have that. And Don's not giving him hundreds of thousands of dollars to pursue this. If it's becoming a quagmire, which it looks like it is already for them.
Okay.
Well, they also know the tactics. Joey also tells everybody that this is a Super Bowl. He loves litigation. And I always say, I don't love it. I'm good at it. I'm bored. The amount of time and effort I put in litigation, I can start a business and make money and build something.
Right.
Litigation is just basically, there's no winning. It's just various forms of losing. Okay? Because there's much better utilization of my time and my intelligence.
And your time.
And my time. Exactly. But that's where we are. But this is a good, so far, our plan, Steve, is working well. In fact, it might be working better than we expected.
I think, as I thought this through over the weekend, there is this conduit that came up between Scotty and Joey. Now, I think we need to think through how that can be leveraged. And there's no hurry about it, but I think I want to submit a concept, and I'll put it in writing. I don't want to go over it now, but I'll put it together, of a tactical approach. Just because Scotty can talk to Joey, at least as you are pointing out, this might go away on a moment's notice, right? Okay. All right.
Well, let me just say this. I know what you're saying. I was involved in litigation with the phone company with a former principal, James Wu. What an animal. He basically tried to extort us. So my girlfriend at the time, DJ Dillibert, who was a principal too, they went to law school together. She's the one that brought him the company. He started calling up and confiding in her. Hours, dozens of hours, his tactic, his strategy. Tried to bribe her to be a co-plaintiff with him. We proposed that in the courtroom. He got demolished. I mean, demolished.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I know you. So I'm inferring that you're alluding to that, but we've got to be careful.
No, something different.
If Scotty keeps calling Joey, Joey's no dummy, and Joey knows my tactics. He saw me do it. He was a defendant with me. He knows. So his cockiness is he's told me, I learned so much from you. I know what. You taught me. This is his words. You taught me everything I know. I couldn't have gone to. I would have never learned this at Harvard MBA school. This is practical information. He was telling on himself. This is last time you taught me. I know you taught me everything. I know you taught me. I could never have gotten this education from business school. And he's predatory. He analyzed me. But I want to say to Joey, if I ever speak to him, I would say, it's Joey. You might know, I might have taught you everything you know, but you don't know everything I know.
Right.
Okay?
Very good. Yeah.
Okay? Just because you went into my karate studio and got a brown belt doesn't mean you can fight me and win. Right. So that being said, Steve, you are correct, and it's a very good, excellent, insightful thing. Scotty could be utilized as a good asset, but we can't overplay our hand. Joey is a paranoid, conniving, a dark triad personality, sociopathy, no empathy, and selfishness, and cruelty. He will read this. Joey reaches out to Scotty. I'm very confident in Scotty's ability to smell that type of bullshit. But it's going to be a game that they're trying to play each other in. Right. You understand? Yep. That's where we are. Maybe we're overthinking this, and we are. Because at this point, we're now like, what if, if come reverse. All we know today, here are the facts we know today. It's 12B5. We're waiting for an answer. Joey sounds defeated. Quote, he's going to die in the vine, and it's not worth pursuing. So Scotty said to me, I was trying to, what does it mean, die in the vine? What does it mean practically for us? Die in the vine means, I don't think there's going to be, I'd be surprised if there's a formal filing that that they're withdrawing the lawsuit. Okay, they might just die on the vine. But then again, this is federal court. So
Right.
if the Dorenzos won't pay Massimo, right? Massimo's got a liability there. Ackerman does, because federal fucking judges are fucked up. Okay, that's why nobody wants to go to federal court. A lawyer does if they think a client can't pay, because at one point, if a client can't pay, so usually the defendant can't pay, and the lawyer files a motion to withdraw, the judge can say, "Fuck you, too bad. You got to stay in it.
You got to stay.
Right.
You can't just
Okay.
walk. No.
But this is different because he's a plaintiff. But if I know Ackerman, they would probably want to formalize it and say, we're withdrawing this case, so that keeps them clean.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I presume that's optimistic at this point. We don't know,
Right.
and therefore
We
it's
don't
just
know.
pure speculation. It's
Yes, it's
Nowhere.
speculation. There's no question about it. And I don't want to get ahead of our skis, so to speak, on this thing. You know what I mean?
well, we just have to maintain our defense or
Well, you know what, Scotty, you can
time
understand
defense.
that analogy, right? You know how it's like getting in front of your skis a little too. What happens when you get in front of your skis?
Say that again, Victor. You broke up on me.
What happens when I use that term? We don't want to get in front of our skis too much. What happens when you're racing and you get ahead of your skis?
And you fall down.
Exactly. So let's not get ahead of our skis too far on this.
Right. Right. That's
Okay.
exactly right.
All right. Well, I'm going to put together my proposition and I'll send it to you both.
Okay.
And so
Steve,
Yeah.
what's important today?
Yeah.
Please don't work on that proposition. We've got to refile that TASA bankruptcy.
yeah,
That's
with the
first and
cleanups,
foremost.
the cleanup. Yep.
We'll clean up, and then we can address that other issue.
Yeah.
Please, I'm asking
Okay.
nicely.
And I think I can do that on Pacer as well. And then, did you just a reminder to get on Pacer? You and
Yes,
Tara
I
get on
actually,
Pacer.
I'm good. That's in my order of business. I have a
Yeah,
little
please
time.
do.
I've got other. I actually got a letter from the federal court here telling me to get on Pacer.
Oh, good.
I filed, yes, I'm going to definitely do it. And
Yep.
And by the way, Dara's got to do it too. But Dara
Yes.
just arrived on the red eye, so she's back in New York as of
Oh, she
before.
is.
She'll be
Okay.
sleeping today.
All right. Good.
I won't see her until probably Wednesday or Thursday, something
Okay.
like that. She got an job interview, and she's got a project that she's a certified bookkeeper, so she does like piecework,
Oh,
and now she's got
okay.
a job offer.
Okay.
You know?
Great.
Nice.
Okay.
So, all right, so that's where we are. Okay,
All right.
I think this gives us some hope. I think that at this point, it's better than, like I said prior to this weekend and Scotty's call about what Joey's feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Steve, we were just planning for a protracted fucking Vietnam War.
Yeah. Attrition is the winner.
Right, attrition. But then again, like I said, you know what? Joe's a bully. And what are bullies? What's the other side of a bully? They're cowards and quitters.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay. Well, one of the core elements of Joey must also be that he's greedy. Is that correct?
he's not greedy. He's
not.
avaricious.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
actually an addiction. I
Okay.
know in the phone company, if he
All the better.
sees, he's avaricious
Okay.
and he's lazy. He thinks everything is low hanging fruit.
Mhm.
And once if he figures out, I actually have to water this fucking thing, I actually have to fertilizer, I actually have to do this,
Yeah.
he loses interest.
Good. All right. Then that's good. Okay. Well, I'll work on TASA.
Okay.
And then Scotty, I need to talk to you about the domestic cases. We have
Okay.
deadlines.
All right.
And
All right, so I'll dip out of that. I think that's a conversation I'm not.
yeah,
gonna
that's
go
just
there.
the
Okay.
Scotty's
All right,
upside
guys.
on these cases here.
All right. Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
All right, thanks,
Thank you, Victor.
A good
All right.
start on a Monday. Okay.
Got it, guys.
Yeah.
Scotty, I'll come back to you in about half an hour.
I'm available.
Okay,
All right,
got
bye,
it.
guys.
Thank you. Bye. It's 9:56. It's July 12th. It's a Monday.